Welcome to the jungle, it gets worse here every day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy, and welcome to the trenches. And yes, welcome to whatever this video is. Chelsea lose 2-0, of course, to the Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham weren't great, didn't need to be. And Chelsea are so deep in the trenches that we have seemingly lost our feet via trench foot. Footballs and cannot be kicked. Goals cannot be converted. And clean sheeps? Keep your sheeps clean. I always said it. Clean sheets cannot be kept. And that was seemingly a strength of Chelsea of late. Sack Graham Potter is ringing round the mouths of fans from all around the globe. Heck, I've even seen a petition fly around on social media to get the gaffer out. We're going to reflect on all this today here on the channel. It's tough times for us Chelsea fans, but by sticking together, digging in, we'll make it through. So I thank you for joining me, and I'll thank you for liking the video. It's very sweet of you. I appreciate it. And you are, of course, welcome to subscribe. Now, I have been going around social media, mainly Instagram. I have utilized Twitter on the Football Therapy account, but some of you may have noticed I've deactivated my main Twitter account, which is like, I don't know, was it pushing 90,000 followers or something? I don't care about followers. I just care about my Football Therapy community and YouTube and Instagram really. So apologies to those of you who enjoyed following me on Twitter, but I'm done. It's bad Twitter, innit? It's no good. I'll check out journalists' links to articles and important tweets. But if you want to follow me, then feel free to follow me on this Instagram handle here, Football Yannick, and you can see what I'm doing. It's mainly just me talking to my phone about Chelsea and playing with my kitten. Hey, yeah, that's the content you all want, right? Not watching Chelsea Football Club on the television or indeed the stadium. You don't want that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about it. It is very, very difficult. There's make no bones about it. Chelsea are poor. We weren't necessarily poor a couple of games ago. I'd argue we were unlucky against Dortmund. Well, a little bit unlucky, but also just lacking in confidence. But these last two games, mama, hot dog. It has been some turgid sewage that is so hard to wade through, you just sort of give up and die. Sorry, if you don't laugh through these times, then I don't know what happens. So look, it is terrible. Graham Potter has been really underperforming as a coach by any standards. The players are absent totally in terms of being confident. I was saying stuff like players that turned up like João Felix and Enzo Fernandez that were just riding high on their self-belief and Galactico ability when they joined Chelsea this winter, looking like pretty darn good players. They've seemingly acclimatized to this Chelsea aura for long enough, absorbed it into their pores to the fact where their ability and confidence has crashed down, and they've joined the sewage wading expedition. Anyway, yeah, it's bad. It's real bad, and then the news is rung around that the gaffer is still going to stay. Now, I should obviously present my position on this, as I like to do on the channel. I don't know what canning this guy right now will do. Now, if you do watch my content, you'll know that I have been a huge advocate of just trusting a coach through difficult times because you truly believe they are going to be the person that you can build long term. And by the way, in regards of Graham Potter, in terms of his character, you might find him uninspiring or whatever. And we've spoken at length how he's lacking a sort of theatrical, emotional delivery, which is actually probably good for a gaffer if he's to stay at a club for a long time. He kind of does represent that candidate that could, he knows how to manage up and he knows how to manage down. Now, he might not be coaching well at the moment, but you know what I mean by that is he's not going to upset the hierarchy, win a trophy, cause explosions, get sacked, having to buy loads of players and, all this, that, the other. He's not going to upset loads of players below him and, all the most expensive assets, freeze out and this, that, and the other. He's very good at keeping everyone happy, which is, in this modern landscape, conducive to a long-term dynasty legacy. And before we speak about the negatives, for what it's worth, I do think he's a good coach. He remains the hipsters coach that was recognised as one of the best managing talents in European football. But he's underput by his standards, by anyone's standards. This is just so poor. Right, so you can watch that Dortmund game and go, yeah, even like his, non-believers who were like, yeah, or many of them were like, yeah, freaking Graham Potter coached a 3-0 win here. He can't score the goals. Heck, I posted and, published a video saying about he can't score the goals and it's not his fault. And that was all true, but come on, baby, you got to do something. Even if this isn't all on Graham Potter, which it probably isn't, he's just not doing well right now. And if you got him in a room and it was you and him, and I'd be like, right, Graham, this stays in here. Football therapy, I'm your therapist, right? I have a professional duty to not, unless you're saying you're gonna go and like murder a bunch of people, I've got a professional duty to keep this confidential. You and me, GP, do you think you're doing well right now? He'd probably say, well, listen, Doc. Well, he hasn't got an American accent. To be honest, he's got like a sort of northern accent. I can't do his accent. He'd probably say, look, no, remember the sewage? It's up here. So yeah, I think he'd probably recognise that. So I get it. This is not Chelsea Football Club. What are the risks right now? We don't get past Dortmund. We don't even get Conference League. Champions League's gone. I sort of extinguished that flame in my heart a long time ago, and then you're less likely to get hurt, brothers and sisters. I don't think we are in a relegation battle, as ludicrous as that is to say. We do have a lot of quality. The truth is, it was a crap game against Tottenham, I think, and a couple of relatively soft goals away in a top 4 team. When you're a humble relegation scrapping team, you ain't got to worry about those results so much. That just hurt me saying that. It's completely unacceptable. I mean, the Tottenham result will hurt Chelsea fans more because we've just beat them all the time. But, in theory, it's not as bad as the Southampton result at home, 1-0 to 20th place, who then went and lost the following game week. What do you get? So what do you do? It's not just sacking Graham Potter, is it? Now, look, I'm not telling you what to think, because right now, both options seem pretty darn terrible to me in terms of how things are going right now. If you sack Graham Potter, of course. By all accounts, it would be an expensive canning. You sack his backroom staff, you sack his relevant recruitment staff, Carl McCauley. I think he works in tandem very well with Christopher Vivell. They've set up a structure, and indeed the whole think tank, the expensively assembled think tank. Graham Potter, his long expensive contract, his staff, their long expensive contracts. And granted, the players have been bought for Chelsea's long-term project, but a lot of it's been involved with Carl McCauley and Graham Potter with their blessing. I'm not saying, because of this, we have to stick with Potter for 10 years regardless. I'm just saying, right now, the prospect of canning this dude is very expensive. And for what? Or more specifically, for whom? He may well get canned. And it may prove to be the right thing. And we might get someone in, who do you bring in? Someone to raise standards and shake people up a bit. What, do you bring in John Terry and Frank Lampard? Because that would just, as much as I love them, that would seem ludicrous. And it would make the ownership, who I'm generally very pleased with, just a joke. I mean, the thing is, right, let's be reals for a second, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. They came into Chelsea, the ownership, Boehly and Clearlake, and they're like, look, we want to win, but we don't want to be a Roman Abramovich style hiring and firing. We want to build and an intelligent infrastructure that is conducive to long-term success, consistent success at the highest level. And for us, success translates to winning titles. Bang, bang, bang. All good. If they can, Potter, which again they may do, they've sacked 2 managers in their first season. Full season. I don't think Roman Abramovich did that. He sacked managers all the time and brought in interims, but he never, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but did he sack 2 managers in one season? Because I don't think he ever did. So not only have they like said that they've basically done worse than Roman Abramovich, they've spent way more money than him, which is like, you know, we're not just going to throw money at the wall. Well, you have. And we're not just going to sack loads of managers. Well, you've outdone him in both, boys. You've outdone him in both. Again, my position is the same on what their long-term vision is. I really do like the structure, the long-term planning, and the idea of a process. Do you have another process project manager in the wings? Are you waiting? Have you got a guy lined up? Have you got someone in the chamber ready to fire out into this absolute crap show that is Cobham and Stamford Bridge at the moment? Well, there's 3 months left in the season, if that. Look, it's an absolute... You can see what's going on. You don't know anyone. Most of them don't speak English. Just go and sort that out, mate. While we pay off, you know, tens of millions of pounds to can all the previous gaffers and staff. Hold on, I've got a really runny nose. Let me just mute my microphone so I can do this. Look, man, he might go. I don't know. I do like him. I do think he's a good coach. This could be a marriage that's not working. I'm not going to call him to leave. I'm not going to call him to stay because I don't know what either will achieve at the moment. I'm just losing my mind slowly and progressively. People are calling for Hansi Flick. I actually really like Hansi Flick. His Bayern Munich team were incredible. Does that mean he's just going to come to the Prem and be good? I have no idea. I know he fell out with the Bayern hierarchy. And I guess, I don't know, to be honest, I don't even know if he'd want to leave the German national team. Luis Enrique, apparently a nice guy. Obviously won the treble with Barcelona. Did so with Spain. It's like Mancini as well. Of course, he's won a Prem before, but that was like City-fueled at the time. There's a lot of dodgy accusations of his time around then. I don't know. And what else would you say? I do not want to hear Jose Mourinho. I just don't want to hear it. Oh my God. Firstly, he went to Manchester United, which I just about forgave him for because he just talked about his love Chelsea. But after going to Tottenham, after saying he would never go to Tottenham, he is done for me. That relationship is broken. I've chucked all the photos of us together in like one of those burning metal can fires outside in the rain. He's gone around just setting fires everywhere himself. That is absolute carnage, and also the antithesis of what we are trying to structure and build at Chelsea Football Club. Romance about the good times, enjoy how he's our most successful manager, and with that he was absolute box office. But that dude is he's basically a fire waiting to start. And that is not what we need. We don't need all these Galacticos, few being like pushed out and upset about, I just don't need that. So maybe the next video I upload is Chelsea have sacked Graham Potter and they've brought in this guy. Who knows? Who knows? And if they do, then we'll reflect on that accordingly. But I just don't know, man. And that's okay. And you're allowed to feel the same. I do hope you're doing okay, though. And importantly, I do think we will be okay. Long term. It's box office, isn't it? It's tough, but every now and again, you got to go through difficult times. And here we are. But fortunately, we've got each other. So, to support each other, drop like, comment, and subscribe, my friend. Thank you for joining me today on Football Therapy. I will be back. I will remain here in the trenches fighting for you. And I love you lots. Peace.